everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Leah and I am That Snake Lady, and today is a very special day. Today is officially the day I got my first snake, and here she is. If you don't know, this is Paddy, and today I'm going to be telling you a little bit more about her and how I got her, who I got her from, and our little adventures together. I'm not going to keep her out for the whole video because if you can't tell, she is in shed. I pulled her out and then I realized her eyes are turning blue, so she's a little crankier than usual. I'm going to try and get her close. You can see her eyes are blue. And it's probably not going to focus because she is a lighter color. You can't really tell unless you're like looking at her that she's in shed. Because there's times even that I've pulled her out and I just don't realize she's in shed until I actually look right at her. But if she stays as chill as she is right now, I might hear it for the whole video, but I'm not sure yet. So if you see me as kind of cut and she's not here anymore, she's back in her terrarium just chilling. This is a story about how I got Paddy. This is going to be the first, and I guess a little series I wanted to do called Meet My Snakes, where I pull out each of my snakes and just talk about them. I got Paddy last year, August 10th. I've been owning snakes for a whole year now. It's kind of exciting. It's kind of a big deal for me, I guess, because as a child, I was never allowed to have snakes. We'll start there. So I used all that time to research the snakes I wanted, which was ball pythons. And where are you going? And then, what was it? 2 years ago, I moved in, my boyfriend, we each moved out of our parents' houses and moved in together. And last year, I kind of remembered, because in, the craziness of life, I kind of put snakes on, back burner. I wasn't really thinking about them as much as I had been, when they're, top priority, I'm gonna get a snake, I'm gonna get a snake, I'm gonna get a snake. But, so I hadn't really thought about it in a little while, and I'm like, I don't live with my mom anymore. Hey, Dan, can I get a snake? And he's like, yeah, why not? I don't mind. Because he's an animal lover like I am. The snakes are more my thing because he's a big softie and can't feed off rodents. Which, that's fine because I would like these guys, just to be kind of my thing. But yeah, so I went to him. I'm like, hey, babe, can I get a snake? And he's like, yeah, I don't mind. So I started, getting the supplies I was gonna need. I got my terrarium all set up. I got that all situated. I had run it a couple days, well actually a couple weeks, just to make sure everything was running smoothly, the temperatures were staying consistent, humidity was staying where it needed to be, and just kind of perfecting my terrarium before I got a snake, just to make sure they were gonna do well in it. So then I started looking for an actual snake, and when I first started getting into snakes, my favorite morph was actually a pied, which it still is. I don't know why I haven't gotten one yet, just kind of all the other pretty morphs have been keep catching my eye and kind of, distracting me from the morph I really wanted, which is pieds, but eventually I will get one, I promise. But yeah, and the morph I really liked that really stood out to me was Mojave morphs. I just thought the dark colors, the really saturated, colors are really nice, and I really wanted one. So I'm looking at all these awesome Mojave snakes, and then I see a little purplish snake, and I'm like, that's weird, what's this? So I looked it up, and it was a crystal morph. And I thought they were really pretty, these nice, I like the pattern on it, and so I contacted the breeder. His name was Grant. He works with, or he's the owner of GX3 Reptiles, and I contacted him about this little snake. I think it was born that year, 2017, and I contacted him hey, I'm really interested in this snake. What's the process of getting it? Because he was all the way out in California. I live in New York, so we're on opposite sides of the country. And he explained, what shipping was, how it was gonna work. He was very nice, very helpful, answered every question I threw at him, because first kind of jitters, I want his expertise on what she needed. And so we were talking about it, and the day came, I made my final payment, and he was like, okay, I'll send her out, I want to say it was probably Wednesday because I got her Thursday. And so yeah, we went there, and then I was at work Wednesday, and I keep my phone in my pocket. It's just going off, going off, going off. I'm like, oh no, what's going on? So I'm thinking oh God, something happened to my mom or my grandmother or something like that. And So I, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go sneak out for a little bit so I can check my phone. So I leave, and it's Grant, and I'm like, hey, what's up? Because I gave him my cell phone number, and he actually gave me his, personal cell phone number too, in case I needed something from him. And he's like, hey, I made a mistake. The steak you want is actually a male. And I'm like, oh shit, I can't get my snake now. And he's like, it's okay, I've got another one. And he sent me like pictures of her, of this lady right here, and she's like, it's my nicest crystal I've ever produced. I'm sorry for my mistake. If you want her, she's yours. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take her, She was very nice. She was a little bit older. I kind of wanted the baby just so I could see it grow, but I didn't mind. I really liked how he was very professional about it. He's like, I made a mistake. I made a mistake, and he, did his best to get a hold of me. He got a hold of me, told me what was going on, and we corrected the issue together. He didn't just, send me the snake or send me like the mail, and let me find out later. So that was really nice. I really appreciated that. And so day came when I got Paddy. I took the day off so I would be here when she arrived. I'm sitting in my living room, like watching out my giant window, like waiting for the FedEx truck to come so I can finally meet my awesome little noodle here. Oh, you can actually see that her belly is pink because she's going to shed. That's kind of cool. I didn't think that would pick up on camera. But anyway, so my cat is meowing in the corner. But anyway, so I'm sitting in my living room, I'm waiting, I'm watching. I don't see a FedEx truck, so I contact Grant, and he's like, oh yeah, she'll be there by noon. And I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. It's about 10 o'clock at that point, so I'm like, okay, no problem. So I kind of did a little bit, sorry, she's going like between my legs. But, so I'm waiting for the FedEx truck to come. It doesn't come. Noon rolls around. I'm still, nothing's come, nothing's arrived. I haven't seen a FedEx truck drive by or anything like that. So I'm waiting. 1 o'clock rolls around, 2 o'clock rolls around, and I'm like freaking out. So I go onto the FedEx website because I had a tracking number, and I'm like, let me see where she is. She's been delivered. Not to me. So I'm freaking out. I go like outside my house and I like go, because I have 2 porches, like one in the front and like one kind of like around the side. So I'm going around, I'm looking like in all the places they could have left her, like, my front porch, the back porch, my garage, just trying to figure out where the hell they left my snake. Because it's my first snake. I'm already nervous and freaking out a little bit, and now she's delivered and I can't find her. So she's hiding in the blanket behind me. So anyway, I'm freaking out. She's been delivered, not to me. So I call FedEx up and I'm just ranting like, I have a package due delivered today. It's a live animal. Where is it? And they're like, oh, it's been delivered. I'm like, I can see it's been delivered. Where? And they're like, well, we can't get hold of the driver to ask him where he left her. So just hang. I'm like, no, you need to figure out what's going on. And I'm usually not someone who gets angry and is very quick to like snap at like workers, because I work in retail and I, been on that end. But it's like, this is a live animal. If something happens to her, I spent, how much? I paid, I think, probably $350 for her. And I'm like, she's a live animal. She's in like a box. She's been all the way from California. Something happens to her. I'm holding, someone responsible for this. I was very distraught about it because it's, it's a live animal. It says on the box, live reptile, it's not like you can miss it. So anyway, I finally got off the phone. I'm just fuming and trying to figure out where the hell they left my snake, Like I said, it's a live animal, so obviously I'm very worried about her because I don't want anything bad to happen to her. It's my first snake, and I'm already off to a kind of mildly negative situation because it wasn't the snake I originally wanted. I took her anyway, and I absolutely love her, so there's no hard feelings there. And now she's been delivered to the wrong place. So, I'm very upset at this point. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do. Like, how do I deal with this? Because, you're supposed to contact, if you're buying a snake online, you're supposed to contact the seller, be like, hey, I got her, or hey, something's wrong, yada, yada, yada. And what do I supposed to tell this guy? Like, hey, your snake is in the wrong place. Can you send me a new one? Like, no, because that could easily be, you know, I'm not sure if this ever happened, but, you know, it could be some assholes trying to, like, get, like, another free snake or some shit like that, which, that, I wouldn't do that to someone, not intentionally. So, about 3 o'clock, maybe 4 o'clock rolls around, and a neighbor from about 6 houses down the road, you know, comes up the driveway holding a box, and I'm like, is that her? And, like, I run up to him, and he's like, hey, this was left on my porch, and he's, like, holding it like this, you know, like, way away from him, because it says, you know, live reptile, well, live harmless reptile, but still, not a lot of people that live, she's still in the blanket, she's, like, keeps, like, coiling, like, back farther into it, but anyway, so not a lot of people in my area like reptiles, especially snakes. You know, one of my aunts always likes to tell me every time she kills like a garter snake in her lawn, just like to get to me, and I'm not even gonna go there right now. But he brings her to me, and I'm like, oh my god, thank you. You know, I finally got her. She's safe. I pull her out, and she's absolutely gorgeous. And that was that. And, yeah, so that was my experience with FedEx. Yeah, you guys know what you did wrong. At least you should. Anyway, because we have addresses for, a reason, you know? Anyway, again. But, yeah, I finally got her, and I pull her out. She's in this tight, tight, tight little ball. You know, I can barely even, like, see, like, one of her, like, little eyes, like, looking out at me. But, yeah, and it was a rough day for me. Okay, I'm gonna pull her back out and I'm gonna show her off for a little bit. Come here, babe. Come here. Come on out. Okay. So, she is back. And, but yeah, I don't know if I mentioned this or not. Her full name is Paddy. For my fellow Steven Universe fans, no, she's not named after the character from that show. I actually knew about Paddy Sapphires before then. I don't know if anyone else did this in school, but you know, like they do like the, you know, hard, soft, like scale of like stuff. You know, I think talc is number 1, diamonds are 10, and there's all this other crap in the middle. So we got to the end of that lesson, and we were doing like a slideshow, you know, there's a red gem on the screen, it's a ruby, you know, the diamond, whatever. And as a bonus question, the teacher pulls up, you know, this image of like a yellow gem, and it's like, oh, that's obviously a topaz, right? No one got it right. And he's like, no, this is called a Paddy sapphire. And I'm like, that's a really cool word. I'm gonna file that away for future reference. Then I got this lady here. She's a crystal ball python, meaning she's a special Mojave. She's a 2-gene snake. And I'm like, I'm going to call her Paddy. And then, because it's really hard to say that, you know, a bunch of times in a row and trying to talk to someone, and everyone's like, what the hell did you just say? So I shortened it down to Paddy. And she's also known as Paddy Saf. My boyfriend calls her Paddlepuss. I don't know. I think it's kind of cute, but at the same time, it's just like, what? But yeah, she's a very calm snake, in my opinion. I mean, she's very, very laid back. I can pretty much do anything I want with her. You know, I mean, she's in deep blue right now, but she's acting just like her normal self. When I first got her out, she was a little grumpier than normal, but she's calmed down once she realized, hey, it's Mom. She's not gonna eat me. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about her. Oh wait, there is some, no, never mind. We're done here. Have a great day, everyone. Say bye. Say bye, Paddy.